website right now and download my free course on alternate picking mastery. It contains 5 essential exercises that will take you to alternate picking mastery faster than you can imagine. And then I've included my method of how to lay out a practice plan in just 1 to 2 minutes that will absolutely boost your results like nothing you ever tried before. So go download it right now. It's free. So, how do you practice modes? The last time we talked about how to use your ear and how to have a specific practice method for doing that. But you can do more than that. And chances are, once you have all 3 methods here in place, that you're going to do a little of each, and then suddenly everything comes together. So one way of practicing supports the other, and that will just give you that ability to play over any chord you hear in the song. The second way of practicing modes is by using pentatonic scales. If you take the diatonic scale, which is just another fancy word for the major scale, or the minor scale, which I just played the same scale, but just starting on C and starting on A. So, and if you take that scale, that C major scale, and lay it out on the fretboard, put all the dots in, draw it up on a piece of paper, put all the dots there, you'll see that your first position, old minor pentatonic shape, fits in 3 different places on that neck. So you can actually fit the first position minor pentatonic shape on top of the major scale in 3 different places. Which means that, you could say it in another way, that the C major scale contains 3 different pentatonic scales. Or you can fit 3 different pentatonic scales in there. And if you look, please stay with me now. Stop the video. If you what was that? What was that? Right? And then try, experiment with it. Look it up on the internet. This is the way to go about it. And if you look at the chords of the C major scale, like if we take every step of it, every note of the C major scale, and we form a chord by taking every other note, right, from every note in the C major scale, and we take every other note until we have 3 or 4 notes, giving us a C major or a C major 7th if it's the C we start on, then we get 7 chords, right? And the 3 of these chords are minor chords, and 3 of these chords are major chords. So we have 3 minor and 3 major. And we have that little bastard B minor 7th flat 5, that half diminished, right, as the 7th chord. But every universe needs its little diversion from the rule here. But so we have C major, we have F major, and we have G major, which is the 3 main chords of any major key. Right? And we have 3 minor chords. We have A minor, D minor, and E minor, which is the 3 primary chords of any minor key. Right? So that's neat. But if you then take the minor pentatonic, which is basically just an arpeggio, right? The minor pentatonic scale is 5 notes. We all know that. So it's very close to being an arpeggio, and it is, because if you look at it as an arpeggio and you say, okay, we have the A minor pentatonic, what is that? Well, it looks like an A minor arpeggio with the 4th added and the 7th. So we got, this is an A minor arpeggio. This is an A minor 7th arpeggio. And this is an A minor 7th add 4th. Or, if you take 8, 9, 10, 11, it could also be written as an A minor 7th add 11th chord. And that would be, let's see if we can play that actually. So we could go like, let me see, A minor. That would be a sus. So we should go all the way up there. So or something like that. Doesn't matter, but it's an arpeggio, and that arpeggio actually fits over all 3 minor chords in the key. So if you have, like, say, the first chord of, we have C major, that's the first chord of the C major scale. We go to the second step and form a chord, we get a D minor. And the D minor pentatonic fits neatly there in the 10th fret. First position, right? So I can play the D minor pentatonic when I hear that D minor chord within the C major scale. And the next chord is an E minor. And the E minor pentatonic fits the C major scale neatly. Right? And then the third chord is the A minor, 6th step, and I can play the A minor pentatonic as well. I haven't played any other notes than the C major scale so far, but it's 3 different minor pentatonic scales. So let's say we had a chord progression that says A minor, and then D minor, and then E minor, right? And let me just, so you can hear how cool this is. So let's just stay there a little while. Get to the D minor, and then the E minor. A minor pentatonic, D minor pentatonic, E minor pentatonic, A minor pentatonic, right? It's just A minor, D minor pentatonic, E minor pentatonic, A minor pentatonic. And D minor, E minor pentatonic, and A minor pentatonic. Now let me use the notes of the C major scale, same scale in the bottom, to kind of, tie in these or go from one pentatonic note to another, right? A minor pentatonic. D minor pentatonic. Suddenly, I'm actually following the chords in the background with my old trusted minor pentatonic shape. And in the beginning, you just move the first position shape around. And I actually recommend that as a good exercise. Play the 3 minors of the C major scale, and then just move the first position shape around. So A minor's down here, D minor up here, and E minor up here. And then you combine them with the cage shapes, because there are 5 pentatonic 2 notes per string shapes, and they fit neatly with the major scale cage shapes, also 5 vertically, right? So you combine that same minor pentatonic with the C major shape that you find underneath every one of them. So the first one is, and you find those diatonic or C major scale notes, and D minor, E minor pentatonic, right? Excuse me. And so that's a very nice exercise. And then you can take the next shape in the pentatonic, next cage shape, and move that around to fit the 3 minor chords. Excellent exercise. But then we have the 3 major chords as well. So now you've been playing Aeolian, which is the 6th step. You've been playing Dorian, D minor, and E, which is Phrygian. And you have actually been focusing on the notes of the chord just by using a tool you already know, the pentatonic shape, which is basically an arpeggio with some added notes. So we get the pentatonic sound also, right? And as you know, you have to know the pentatonic well enough for you to be able to use it, right? There are only 5 notes and they sound relatively good, all of them. But if you use your ear, then that pentatonic scale will really sound cool, right? But so that's the first exercise. Then you can say, okay, then we have the 3 major chords. We have the C major in the C major scale, and the F major chord, and the G major chord. But the A minor scale A minor pentatonic is the same as the C major pentatonic, right? So you just go up 1 minor third. So this A minor pentatonic shape is the same as the C major pentatonic. You just have to use the notes a little bit differently. Which means that you have to focus on the notes of the chord, the C major chord, instead of the notes of the chord, the A minor chord, right? But the arpeggios are still in there. So this is C, right? And within the pentatonic there, right? And you use your ear to do that. So now I can use that first position to play over the C. Excuse me. But then I can also use the notes of the C major. But I focus on the notes of the C major pentatonic, which is the same as the A minor pentatonic, right? Let's take the D minor, right? We had the D minor pentatonic also fit on top of the C major scale, and we could then use that to play Dorian, right? But if you go up 3, steps in the scale, you find an F. So a minor third from D is F. So the other major chord, which is F, you can just use the D minor pentatonic because it's the same as the F major pentatonic up here. And mix it with the C major scale still, because now we're playing Lydian actually. Pentatonic. Right, then you have Lydian with the pentatonic sound as well, because we have that arpeggio, which is the 5-note arpeggio, which is the pentatonic scale, right? We have that sound as well as the mode. Pentatonic sound. Right? So let's do the last one. Let's do the Phrygian. No, not the Phrygian, because if we take the E, we go up to that second note of the pentatonic scale. We have the C, or the G, right? Which is the third chord, the third major chord in the C major scale. And if I play that, and I use my own, right? When I use that pentatonic, then I suddenly have a major sound, and then I can again mix it with the notes from the C major scale. Right? And I get the Lydian sound. Right? It's a miracle. So you might want to do the same exercise and say, okay, let's play all the three major chords. Let me play C. Let's just get that. C, and then F, and then G, let me go down here, and then C again, right? And then use the same. Right? So now I can play what was before A minor pentatonic, but now C major. And then D minor, which is now F major, and then E minor, which is now G major pentatonic. With a little bit of C major scale. C major pentatonic, F major pentatonic, major pentatonic and then back to A. Right? So that's the second way of playing modes. But in this way, you actually have that pentatonic, that very distinct pentatonic sound in the sound as well, which is a cool thing. But sometimes you might want to lose that sound, right? You don't want that pentatonic sound in there. So that's the minus, that's the drawback of this method. It's really cool because you can take something that you know already, the pentatonic scale, and you can use that to get started on modes and to really, get in there right away, because the ear training takes a little bit of time. This is very rapid if you just, and you might be confused right now and say, what? The pentatonic scale, minor, major, fits 3 places? What the, right? But then watch the video again. Go out, check the internet, look at some charts and see for yourself, see if you can put that first position pentatonic, and then try it. Get your looper pedal out of the closet, dust it off, and then, okay, C major scale, what do we got? What chords have we got? So that's Aeolian, right? So that will be, and then experiment. That's the way to learn it. That's the way to get it underneath your skin so you never forget it. So it becomes an experience instead of just something you talk about. So have fun doing that. And then in the next video, I'll show you the last way of dealing with modes. Subscribe for more free videos. Do it. Do it now. Do it.